Welcome to Smellomania, a very unusual perfume review channel where I review perfumes by drawing what they smell like to me. Today's episode will be really special because I've never reviewed anything from Amouage on my channel before, even though people have been waiting. I've purchased this sample set of exceptional extracts and my eyes are laid on Interlude 53 today. And there's a very serious reason behind my choice. You see, one of my favorite perfume reviewers, Daniel from Seldomly Often, I will leave a link to his channel below, has posted a very important video a few months ago. He listed his top 10 favorite fragrances and Interlude 53 by Amouage took the first place. And when a perfume reviewer shares his favorite fragrances, I listen closely and attentively. Daniel always describes perfumes very vividly. He tells a story and shares his deepest insights. And this time I decided to create one artwork based solely on his description of the perfume, and the other one will be based solely on my impression. This will be fun. I'll be writing down the main ideas from Daniel's description. A pitch black tent filled with smoke, a smoldering log in the background, a cloud of smoke, a psychedelic experience, and my favorite part is I almost start seeing colors. Let's turn everything he said into tiny drawings so that it would be easier for me to see the bigger picture. Here's the tent and here's the smoldering log, a cloud of smoke, and the experience of starting to see colors. I love that. That's such a cool description of a perfume. Do you have a perfume that makes you start seeing colors? Let me know in the comments. Then I sketched a few options of how the final artwork could look like. I drew a tent and an obscure human figure sitting inside. And then I had a brilliant idea that these colors could be in the form of smoke. That would look really impressive. The other idea I had was to make my human figure stand up and use its shadow in a very creative manner. Instead of just painting it plain black, I would make a colorful shadow, symbolizing that the person truly is experiencing an altered state, a psychedelic experience of some sort. Then I thought about just drawing the inside of the tent with visible tent fabric draping all over the place, mixing with smoke. But this one was my least favorite idea, as it felt the most isolated, and I really wanted to see the night and the forest scenery behind the tent. Up to this day, 4 Amouage fragrances go by the name of Interlude. Interlude for Men and Interlude for Women were released as a pair in 2012, and then 8 years later, Interlude 53 and Interlude Black Iris saw the light of day. Interlude 53 is the most expensive of them all, costing 490 euros, while other perfumes from the Interlude line go for around 365 euros. Why is it so special and expensive? Because it has a 53% oil concentration, 24 weeks aging, 16 weeks maceration, and 8 weeks of maturation. To put it simply, it's an extremely concentrated perfume, and it has been deliberately aged for 6 months. Interlude 53, just like Interlude for Men and Interlude Black Iris, was created by Pierre Negrin. This is a woody, ambery fragrance. It's very deep and rich. It contains the notes of amber, frankincense, opoponax, leather, oud, In other words, everything dark, mysterious, resinous, and smoky. I am so proud of this drawing. I took a picture of the finished piece and posted it on my Instagram story, and people got it right. Of course, the sample box must have been a slight giveaway, but still, this means that images and artwork could be associated with a smell. I believe my experiment in recreating Daniel's impression of his favorite perfume was a success. A pitch black tent filled with smoke, a smoldering log. It feels like a psychedelic experience. It feels like you should start seeing colors. Now let's move to the second part of the video. What does the perfume smell like to me? What does it remind me of? Well, it's so powerful that I start feeling powerless. It's as heavy as a block of stone. I feel overwhelmed when smelling it. It feels as if some witch casted a spell on me. Interlude 53 is like a combination of some special magical incense that was crafted from raisins, dizzying, soft, sweet smoke, dusty wood, and something supernatural. I'm telling you, this perfume makes you feel and see things. A few of my followers on Instagram noted that they would love to hear more about the art materials I'm using and all of the techniques I'm exploring. As for myself, I'm as much into art as I'm into perfumes, so let me know in the comments down below if you'd like to hear more about various art techniques and tools, or should I keep the channel oriented strictly towards perfume? For example, for this quick impression of Interlude 53, I used a very special fountain pen called Sailor Fude de Mannen. It can draw very thick and thin lines. Basically, it imitates brush strokes. It's like 3 different pens in one. With this piece, I wanted to capture the darkness and the depth of the perfume. There's a mysterious room inside an old wooden cabin. It would be pitch black since it has no windows, if not for the ancient fireplace, which has been smoldering since forever. And in that room, a wooden cabinet stands, all drenched in smoke. A dried fruit cabinet next to an old fireplace. I got back to my sketchbook and tried to put my thoughts into one place. Magic, a dizzying spell, smoke, or even dust, something sweet and dried, wood, all things combined. It seems that we have a mummy curse on our hands, something sacral, something haunted and dizzying. For my final piece, I'm using Mungyo Gallery oil pastels. There are so many people out there who basically despise oil pastels. And I was one of them. I've tried so many times to produce something decent with my old Faber-Castell set, but it always ended up looking like a kid's drawing until I laid my hands on these magical sticks. They feel like lipstick melting under my fingers, allowing me to blend everything into one buttery dream, reminding me of oil paintings. My impression of Interlude 53 is that it makes me feel like I've just walked into a mummy tomb that has been sealed off for thousands of years. I can still smell the smoke and the incense from all the rituals that took place eons ago. mixed with thick dust. I can smell the wooden sarcophagus and sweet, resinous, embalming fluids as I watch a fragile hand rising from the tomb, offering me some mummified grapes. My head starts getting dizzy. Am I under a curse? Thank you so much for watching. It was so fun and I'm beyond pleased with the final results. Let me know which one you like more, and see you soon on my other videos. Bye!